Hey everyone, and welcome to the Future of Brand Storytelling in a Post-Pandemic World. My name is Stephanie Drosh. I am a Chief Story Strategist and consultant at MediaPsych Strategies, a boutique marketing agency focused on brand psychology. I'm also a doctoral student at Fielding Graduate University in the field of media psychology. And if you want to learn more about my work and my fun travels around the world, head on over to stephaniedrosh.com. But in the meantime, let's jump into this conversation. So before we begin, I want to discuss briefly what a brand story is so you have an idea of what we're discussing as we move forward. Brand storytelling is the cohesive narrative that weaves together the facts and emotions that your brand evokes. Now, the science behind story has been well documented. Humans are wired for story, and in the most basic form, story is built from cause and effect, as is the human brain. The reason we use narratives to relate to the world is so that we can take these individual experiences and better understand how we relate to the collective whole. Now, brand stories do three very important things. They build instant rapport. So stories create deep connections and build loyalty faster in an often saturated market. They help you differentiate yourself from the competition and stand out. And they also are meaning-making machines. So they give your a brand a reason to live, and they give your customer a reason to buy. When looking at how brand storytelling has been affected and the way that it's moving in the future, we need to look at the behavioral trends and what they're telling us, not only about the messaging, but how consumers are using media. The top 4 behavioral trends that I'm seeing is that 1, COVID-19 is showing us a whole new way of living, being, and relating to others on all sectors. 2, social distancing is highlighting just how important human connection is. 3, social media use and use across most media has actually increased, and creativity from a branding perspective finally is required to function in this new normal. So then how brand stories have changed during the pandemic is what is most interesting in relation to behavioral trends. The first is phase 1, the educational phase. We saw marketing messages shift from selling to hygiene, keeping safe, and awareness. Quickly after that, we saw stage 2, which was the solidarity phase. We saw brands moving away from not only keeping people safe and healthy, but also connecting them, showing that they were in this together. High levels of mental health issues, anxiety, loneliness, and stress were proving to be difficult for many people, and brands knew this and saw this. Stage 3 is what we're in now, the new normal. We're still trying to figure out this stage, but what we're seeing is that most brands are restating their brand purposes, especially in light of social justice issues that have recently arisen. They're also looking at real-time marketing strategies. So how can we connect with people who are online right now as usage has gone up? The new normal requires 3 essential components. 1, from a branding perspective, we need to know who you are and what you value. 2nd, we need to know your brand's purpose. We need to see that you're giving empathy and that you care about the impact you're making in the world. And 3, creativity cuts through the noise. So what we're finding is that the old way of messaging, the framework, isn't working anymore, and that we need to work with consumers instead of just sending them messages. So in closing, in order to survive, you must stand for something, and you must have a story that shows that. You do need to educate yourself on behavioral trends, especially on platforms you think your brand can be on. Show empathy and definitely rethink your sales strategy. I don't want you to give up, and don't assume you can go back to the same story. There are many stories that are happening right now, whether they be comeback or a little David and Goliath, that you can share with your customers on how you're surviving this time and how you're getting through it together. Thank you so much for listening in today. I really appreciate it. And if you have questions, email me at hello@stephaniedrosh.com, and I'd be happy to discuss any of these findings with you. Thanks.